What's up, everybody? Here we are, another Thursday night on the grind. It is raining in Manville, Texas. Yes, I look tired because I am tired. Um, I weld during the day, and today was definitely one of those welding days, man. It was rough. But anyway, tonight's show is proudly brought to you by Boom, I'm back. So next up is our good friends over at Squealing Pigs Audio right here in Baytown, Texas. Mr. Lonnie Rebels went by his new shop today, and I'll tell you what, it's a big old shop. He's got a lot going on over there, man. If you need audio or you need builds or you need paint, whatever you can do, just get on by Squealing Pigs Audio. Look for him on Facebook, or you can reach out to Mr. Lonnie Rebels himself. Next up is our good friends over at Print Signs and Designs. I'll tell you guys what, man. They're the guys that made all the grind t-shirts. They're the guys that made all of the grind documentary posters. These guys do everything. You got to hook up with them. Give them a call at 856-453-0336 and tell them Kevin with the grind sent ya. Next up is our good friends over at Urban Rides magazines. You know these guys, man. They are killing it in the magazine game. They go to, it seems like they go to every single rally out there. They take care of business, shoot the best bikes, have the best articles, have everything great going on. They've got the digital stuff. They've got the print stuff. They got it all going on. Go check them out at urbanridesmagazine.com or Urban Rides Magazine on Facebook. Get your subscription. Next up, our good friends over at Indiana and Northern Illinois Thunder Roads Magazine. Marsha Fitzpatrick and all the people over there kicking ass, taking names. Their magazine, also another killer magazine. They support the grind. You got to get their magazine. I don't even know how to explain it to you. It's thick, it's quality, it's badass. Go check them out. They feature a couple of our builders and a couple of our advertisers in their magazine. Go check them out at Thunder Road, Indiana and Northern Illinois Thunder Road Magazine on Facebook, and you tell them Kevin sent you. All right, everybody. So here we are. Another Thursday night. Yes, as usual, I look tired. Let me go on and get all these. Let me go and say hi to some people. Hello, Miss Nancy Weems. Uncle Bruno's in the house. What's up, Mr. Brad Murray? What's up, Peter Orlando? Marsha Fitzpatrick. Miss Janice Juban is in the house. Pat Price is in the house. Smooth is in the house. Those that don't know, it's Mr. Dan Juban himself. So what is everybody doing? Oh, Don Nolan's in the house. Mr. Daniel Roby's in the house. What's up, buddy? Man, y'all got to get over to TikTok. Find us all on TikTok. I'll tell you what, Daniel Roby and Urban Ride Magazine has some of the coolest videos on TikTok I've seen. They're hilarious. They've actually inspired me to start doing more TikTok videos. Just a good, they're quick. They're quick little videos, man. Get over to TikTok. Check them out. It's really cool. So here we are, another Thursday night. It's raining up in here. The weather sucks, but it is what it is. And yes, you guys can see I need a haircut. My stuff's growing. I'm bushy on the sides, bushy over here, but you know what? That's all right. What's up, Mr. James? What's going on? So yes, we are still doing the 2022 Grind National Biker Build Off. We are currently looking for builders. So if you guys can, if you'll go to the Grind page, check this out. Share that picture with any bike builder you know. What's up, Mr. Jeff Eldridge? He said, grow that mullet. It's funny you say that because check it out, man. That's all I can grow is a mullet. I ain't got none on the top. Well, I got a little bit over here, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm just too lazy to get a haircut right now. And plus, 90% of the time I got my hat on. No big deal. But check out this flyer that we had made. Y'all share up that flyer, man. It's on the Facebook page, the Grind Facebook page. It's on my personal page. You can get over to Earl's. This is out there for everybody to share. We need to get some more builders in here. I want to get this thing up and going. But anyway, grab it, do it, share it. So happy birthday, Miss Michelle Rowe. Good to have you in the house. It's actually good to see Mr. Jeff Eldridge back in the house. I just saw a picture you posted, Jeff, of you and your wife. Tell you guys are swole in that picture. Jesus Christ, man. What did y'all eat, people, or what? I mean, damn, these big old strong people. But anyway, it's good to have you back in the house, buddy. Hope your business is doing kick-ass. So what I would like to discuss tonight is part 2 of last week's show, which is I talked to so many builders across the country, from people like Curly to Ray D. Herrera. I mean, I talked to so many people in the motorcycle industry, whether they're builders, they're painters, they're fabricators, parts manufacturer like Shane Castaneda. I mean, I talk to so many people in this industry on a regular basis. You remember that old phrase, the proof is in the pudding? The proof is always in the pudding when it comes to business. Now, the reason I'm harping on this so much here lately is because a lot of people in this industry that have been following the grind for the last 4.5 years, some people have kind of stepped away because the show can get a little crabby at times, and there's a lot of bickering back and forth and just shit like that going on. But I'd like to think that the majority of us and the people that are watching tonight, everybody gets along, everybody supports everybody. And I think that's the way it should be in your business. When you venture out on your own and you're like, you know what? I think I want to start up my business. I want to be a bike builder, or I want to be a painter, or in my case, like a seat guy that has turned into a bike builder. You tend to get afraid when you first start out that, man, people aren't going to pay me, what I need to get to build these bikes to get my name out there. And to a degree, that's true, because you don't have a whole lot of history for them to look at and say, oh, well, shit, he built this bike over here, or he did this seat over here, or he did this paint job over here. So you kind of have to ease your pricing into the level that you're at that current time with building, painting, doing seats, whatever. And it says, sorry, I'm late. What's that I heard? Pudding wrestling? Yeah, you wish, Mr. Wilcoxon. It's good to see you on here, buddy. I miss you, man. But when you talk about that, and I've said this before, it's paying your dues. For those that don't know, I used to do seats back in the day. And when I first started in 2003 doing seats, I literally charged $100. Well, prices were cheaper for materials back then, things of that nature. Plus, I already owned a business that was doing good and I made money. So I was able to have a really low price just to get my name out there. But as times go on, my quality of work gets better. But as I'm getting busier all the time, I get to the point where it's like, okay, so I've got a backlog of 10 seats right now, and I've got 10 more customers that are waiting. I think maybe now I can raise my price 10% or 15%. And I've done that. The funny thing is that over the last 5 or 6 years, I haven't touched my prices. They've stayed exactly the same. Actually, it's been longer than that. It's been almost 10 years that my prices have not moved. Hello, Dana. It's good to see you in the house. It's good to see you out there doing your thing, Dana. But the reason I say I didn't raise my prices is because I didn't need to raise my prices, because I had good, stable work. I had good customers. Everything was going right along just fine. Well, gas prices now are so astronomical that if I go to buy leather or vinyl or the injection molded foams that I can use and have molds for, that stuff has gone up sometimes 40, 50, 60% just specifically for gas prices. Now, the reason I'm telling you that is because sometimes you're forced to raise your prices. The reason you're forced is because your materials are going to start costing you more. Now, when that happens, yes, you pass that along to the customer, because at the end of the day, you still want to make money. But I'm going to give you guys a little example of something, because a lot of people don't understand the mathematics behind it. Now, I already told all you guys, I've been self-employed since 1997. That doesn't make me an expert on anything. It just means I have learned what not to do repeatedly in the last 25 years. But if you have $100 job, okay, and your materials for that $100 job are going to cost you $50, that means your whole job is $150 to the customer. Okay, simple arithmetic. Oh shit, where my pen go? $100 for your labor, $50 for your materials equals $150. But this number right here, that's not your number. That's what your shop charges for labor. Now, there you go, Dono, Mr. Don Nolan. That's how you do it. You post up your Facebook pages, let people know where they can go to get a hold of you. What's up, Mr. Valentine? So out of your $100 labor, there's a thing called tax. Now that $100 labor, that is your profit so far, because your materials were $50. So I know at my level of income, I pay 31% in taxes. Now, if you take 31% of 100, that's $31. Okay. If you take $31 from 100, now all of a sudden you've only got $69. So that's your profit, is $69 off of a $150 job. This number right here, that number is the secret number, because that number is what you're going to pay your light bill. It's what you're going to pay for your expendables, the stuff that you can't really charge a customer for because you have to buy it in bulk. Like I use resin all the time. Well, I buy resin in 5-gallon containers of resin. They're almost $200 for 5 gallons now. Well, if I really wanted to get down to the nuts and bolts of it, I could divide out ounces. How many ounces are in 5 gallons? And I could divide that out. So every time I lay a seat pan, I know exactly what it cost me to lay that seat pan. But those are some things that business people do. Some business people don't. I am one of those people that actually does that. So I break all that stuff down, and I can tell you what a seat's going to cost me and how much profit I'm actually making at it. Well, at the end of the day, when you charge $100 for labor, you instantaneously got to get Uncle Sam paid. Now, a lot of people don't believe in paying their taxes, or that it's highway robbery or whatever. But the bottom line is if you're going to have a successful business, you have to pay your taxes. If you're not willing to pay your taxes, you're willing to do everything under the table, you're going to last for a little while, but it ain't going to last very long. You know, the more upfront and the more honest you are about what you do and running your business, and you get good habits and set those habits in place from day one, you're going to last longer in business. What doesn't make sense to me is when somebody opens up a business brand new into a brand new industry that maybe they were a part of the industry as far as a onlooker, but they weren't part of the industry in the service part of it, like paint jobs or powder coating, chroming, parts, manufacturing, anything like that. They just stood on the outside. If they want to start a business, you have to understand that the very first job you do has got to be broken down where it's easy for the customer to read, but it's also easy to say, hey, we are going to make money on this job. Your overhead is going to cost you a lot. I mean, let's hypothetically say you rent a 1,500 square foot shop that costs you $2,000 a month. Okay. What does it cost for the light bill for that shop? What's it going to cost to get the air compressors and all the tools put in place and all that? Because those are things you got to pay for, but those are things you can't charge a customer for, because those are just things that you have to be in the industry that you're choosing to be in. What I usually do and what I usually express to people when they're starting a business up, which over the last, because we keep voting the motherfuckers in. That's how they stay in business, Derek. You mean as seen on TV guy? Anyway, so my point is that when they start these businesses, they're afraid to actually charge what they're going to do, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to them because they didn't take the time to understand, okay, I'm going to have to pay rent, and that's every month. I'm going to have to pay a light bill. I'm going to have X amount of tools in place. Am I going to need employees? There's so much to it, but at the end of the day, there's really not that much to do to run a successful business if you just set it up correctly in the very beginning. I've had many conversations with multiple builders across the country about how much money do you actually make? How much money are you profiting? And almost every single builder I've ever spoken with, and I'm referring to bike builders at this point, almost every single builder that I talk to says, man, well, we make X amount of dollars a year. Well, how much are you making? Well, they can't ever really tell me because they don't really break it down into what did they make. Me, I own my own company and I am the company. I do everything in my company. I do the paperwork. I do the billing. I do the receiving. I do all the parts ordering, material ordering. I make everything. I do everything in this company. I do it myself. But if I wanted to hire somebody, the moment that I hire somebody, I have to rethink how I'm doing the business, because now all the money doesn't just go into my bank account or my savings account. Now I have to look at it like, okay, well, I have an employee. I'm going to hire this employee, so I know that I'm going to be taking his taxes out. I know that I'm going to be having to pay workman's comp, which is a form of tax. In Texas, it is. I don't know about other states, but you pay a percentage so that if he were to ever get hurt on job site, he could file for workman's comp and get paid. Typically, the way workman's comp pays is I'm paying for an employee right now. Once the employee leaves my company and goes to another company, if he gets hurt, that's when my company's funds actually start paying him. But anyway, there's a lot that I could get into about business like that. But the bottom line is that you have to know when you do a job, I have to make money doing this job. I offer a valid service. Like, here's the thing. He said, dude, I'm moving to Arizona this weekend. Hell yeah. Awesome, Michelle. Like me, I'm actually... Dude, Logan, that's probably the best thing I've ever heard anybody say. That right there. I know what I make. I make a shitload of work for myself. You know how true that statement is? And I know you meant it to be funny, Logan, but that statement right there is probably one of the biggest truths in owning your own company. It's not even funny, because a lot of people are actually afraid to do things because they're like, well, shit, I'm not making any money. Well, shit, you're probably not going to make money in the beginning. For the first 6 months to a year, you're probably not going to make money. You're going to barely squeeze by. But you have obligations. When you open the doors, you have obligations to pay. You have to pay those things. You have to pay your rent. You got to pay your lights. You got to pay your employees. You got to pay your employee taxes. I mean, you've got to put money back on the profit that you make in your company. You got to put those taxes aside. And by the time it's done, that $100 that you thought you made, you're probably only making $10 or $15 of it. That's it. Rush Bikes needs to get into the biker build off. I'm not begging anymore. I've seen what y'all do. Y'all need to get in the biker build off. I'm just saying. Send me a message. But every time I get on here and I talk to people and I say these things, I'm saying it because I'm hoping people listen and they take into consideration what I'm saying. Because I don't care I don't care how long you've been in business. I don't care how short of a time you've been in business. You can always learn something in business that will help you out. What did he just say? I got to read this comment. He said, you have to amortize to the cost of everything into your labor rate, just like I amortize the cost of everything, heat, AC, insurance, employee costs, etc., when I sell a drink at one of my bars. You're exactly freaking correct, Daniel Roby. You have to know what you're doing in order to make your money. Now, for those that don't know, back in 1997, I started a car wash. It was a mobile car wash. For the first year and a half, I did it all by myself. I got going good enough that I have enough work. I could hire somebody. Once I hired somebody, my income went down, their income went up. So we had to get back to the point where they're making the same amount of money that I was making by myself. And then I kept building on that and building on that and building on that. And within about 5 or 6 years, I wouldn't even get out of bed, would not even get out of my bed unless I was going to make $300 that day. Now, when I first started my business, I was lucky to make $300 a week, but I still had to pay for gas. I still had to pay for insurance. I still had to pay for all the supplies and equipment and everything. I had to do it all, but I was determined. I wasn't going to give up. I wasn't going to go out of business. I was going to make this shit work. And that's what I did. I just kept going and going and going and going until I figured it out. We didn't have YouTube, where you could go and learn everything you need to learn. In 1997, we had this thing called get up out of bed and get your ass to work. That was what we did. If you wanted to be good at something, you kept doing it until you were good at it. Just like motorcycle seats in 2003. I taught myself how to use my sewing machine. I taught myself how to sew. I taught myself how to sew in a straight line. I taught myself how to make patterns. I kept doing it until I was good enough at it that I could make money doing it. Now, I'll tell you, 1997, 98, 99, it was rough. It was real rough. We didn't have a lot of money. Everything I made, it took just to put food on the table for, me and my son. Now, he lived with his mother full time and stayed with me on the weekends and every other week and stuff like that. But you still got to eat, So it took everything I had to pay my rent, keep my lights on, and keep that business going. But I was bound and determined I was going to make it work. So the motorcycle seat thing, same thing. I was bound and determined to learn how to do the craft. And as time has gone, it became a really good business because I learned what I was doing. I learned how to price. I also learned how to pay my taxes. I learned how to do employee taxes. I learned how to do the resale certificate so that I don't have to pay taxes on everything that I use because I'm reselling it to another person. I do pay taxes on stuff that I'm using for me and my business. You do have to pay taxes on that stuff, but it's just the whole networking thing. And the reason that I'm saying this is because I guarantee you, I'm going to pick out a couple of names: Nancy Weems, Marsha Fitzpatrick, the people at Rush Bikes, Daniel Roby, or I'm not Daniel Roby. Daniel Roby, Nathan Leenan. I can tell you right now, if I called any of those people, I could talk business with them and they're going to teach me something. Any of those people. I could pick them up, pick the phone up, call them and say, hey, I need some advice. And they're going to give me some advice. What did Daniel always say? Daniel always said, when you open a business, if you want to be successful, you eat, breathe, live that business for at least the first year. There is no such thing as extra money. You sink every dime back in. True. Very true. I was told by my original mentor that lent me the $5,000 to buy my van and my equipment, which I paid him back very quickly. I was told by him, if you're going to have a successful business or you're going to have any shot at having a successful business, you have to have enough money in the bank to float you for 2 years as if you weren't going to make a single penny and still be able to pay all your bills. That was the only way you could really make a business succeed. Now, mind you, that man, and I won't say his name out of respect for other people, but that man also owned 7 multi-million-dollar companies. He knew what he was doing. He understood it. And he taught me so many things. And in the very beginning, I was intrigued that someone like him would even want to talk to me. But when I opened my business, he didn't give me anything. He didn't give me money. He didn't back my company. He gave me a loan with terms, with interest, and said, this is how it's going to be. If you default on it, I come get all of your equipment. Now, the harsh reality of that is there were a couple of times, man, where I had my lights turned off, but I made damn sure that loan was paid. Well, my lights may have gotten turned off. I can use a candle. It wasn't necessary. So you have to pay dues. When you pay your dues can be anything from learning how to, for painters, it could be learning how to pinstripe. Well, you can't charge somebody top dollar for pinstriping if you don't know how to do it. You got to go buy metal, spend money painting it with your materials and stuff, and then you got to spend money on the brushes, and you have to figure out how to pinstripe. And then you got to spend hours upon hours upon hours pinstriping to get good enough at it that somebody would want to pay you for that service. That's paying your dues. You're going to pay one way or the other for whatever it is you're going to do. You're either going to pay for it out of your pocket, or you're going to pay someone to teach you how to do it. That's the only way. You're going to do it yourself and pay for it yourself, or you're going to pay someone to show you how to do it. And at that point in time, you're still going to end up paying to do it yourself because you're going to waste a lot. That's why I tell people all the time, if you're in a business and you want to talk, call me. Man, go to the grind page. My number's there. Go to the American Drag Seat page. My number's there. If you want to just send me a message and give me a call, man, dude, I love talking business with people. I love breaking things down. I love actually helping people understand how they can make their business more successful. The only part that breaks my heart is when you see a business failing and they refuse to take any constructive criticism or advice that's given to them that will benefit them. People's egos get in the way, and they're like, oh no, well, I'm better than you. I don't need to listen to you. Who are you? Well, dude, I'm fucking nobody. I'm nobody. But do you need to see the last 25 years of tax returns for me to understand that I turned $5,000 into $175,000 a year washing someone's car? Do you need to see I turned a $250 sewing machine into, at one point in time, $165,000 a year making motorcycle seats? Do you need to see those? Because like I said in the beginning of this podcast, the proof is always going to be in the pudding. The proof will always be in the pudding. You can't hide success, which I take that back. You can hide it, but when you're doing good, you're doing good. Your business runs. One thing you can't hide, and it's impossible to hide, is failure. You can buy the biggest trucks, you can buy the baddest toys, you can do everything you want, but people are going to see you fail when you start having to sell that shit. And then all of a sudden, 6-8 months later, your business is gone and you don't have anything left to sell or get rid of. So you close your doors and give up. I wish more people instead of hating on each other. I wish more people would talk and discuss some of these things. Okay, let's build a panel of what I would consider non-experts. Let's discuss people's businesses. Let's break their businesses down. Let's see how we can get their businesses going better. Because I will say this, I'm going to give you one example. A motorcycle painter. He's an artist. We all know you got to buy clear, you got to buy paint, you got to buy pigments, you got to buy shit. I don't know what all you got to buy. You got to buy a lot of shit to be a painter. You got to be a chemist. Let's say this painter says, I'm going to paint your bike, like a Sportster. That's a good example. 2 fenders, oil bag covers, gas tank. I'm going to paint that. I'll paint it for $1,000. And you agree to it. And then that guy tells you it's going to be 2 weeks. That's all it's going to take. Well, at the end of 2 weeks, he can't get a hold. You can't get a hold of him. At the end of 3 weeks, you can't get a hold of him. You go by his shop at the 4th week, and you're like, dude, man, there's nobody here. What the fuck? And then he calls you the 5th week and says, oh, man, I've had this problem. I'm having to work late hours and blah, 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 blah. Well, the truth of the matter is that he's not having problems. He's just a shitty human being that doesn't know how to manage his time. So therefore, he doesn't want you beating him up because he wants to work when you're not willing to go to his shop. He wants to work when he doesn't have to be accountable for his time. So he goes to work at 5 or 6 p.m. knowing you're going to be with your family. And then he'll work till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And there you go. You can't get a hold of him because you're in bed asleep. And then when you're at work, you get off work and the guy's never taking your phone calls because he's home asleep. People, you have to understand, if you're going to have a successful business, you have to have working hours. And I'm not saying you can't work outside those working hours, but I'm saying if your storefront says open 8 a.m. and we close at 5 p.m., you need to open at 8 a.m. and you need to close by 5 p.m. If you have a rush job, like you want to enter one of these shows and you're having to work on these bikes after hours, well, that's totally cool. We get that. But your working hours, you need to have working hours just like everybody else in the world does. And you need to fill your time accordingly within those working hours. If you don't do that, you're going to end up burning yourself out, getting sick, having health issues, all kinds of things, because your body was never made to do what you're putting it through. You're stressful, or you're stressing out. You're worried about money. You're worried about getting customer shits done. And you can't do that. You got to be real. If you're working 16, 20 hours a day to keep caught up, you need to hire somebody. You need to hire a couple of people. Okay. Invest in assets, not liabilities. If it costs me money, I don't need it. True to a degree, Mr. Nagy, true to a degree. My big thing is I learned a long time ago that you hire very slow and you fire very fast. The analogy behind that is you go buy an angle grinder and you're using that angle grinder. The moment that angle grinder no longer works, what do you do with it? Do you keep it and keep reaching for it every day and trying to sand or do whatever you do with it, knowing it's broken? No. The day it breaks, you instantly unplug it from the wall and you throw the damn thing in the trash and you head down to the store and you get a new one that you know works and come right back and you get right back to work. That's the part where when you hire employees, you do the same thing with an employee, except you give an employee an opportunity. Employee, man, Mr. Sockwell, I would love to do motorcycle seats. Okay, well, what experience do you have? Well, I don't have any experience, but man, I'm willing to learn. I'll do whatever you want. So, okay, well, kid, I'm going to hire you in. I'm going to pay you $7.50 an hour for the first 90 days. At the end of 90 days, I'll reevaluate you. And if I think you're good enough, I'll give you a $1 raise at the end of 90 days. From that point forward, if you stick around and you're good at it, I'll give you a $1 raise per year. No, it's not a lot of money, but what I'm looking for is your loyalty to what I'm teaching you is what I'm looking for. If we're good with that, then let's go. But if the kid gets in there and the first day he's supposed to be at work, he gets there 30 minutes early, he's raring to go. the second week after he's learned that it's a shit job and it's just, labor. So he comes in 5 minutes late. Oh, I'm sorry. I overslept. And that becomes a pattern. At the end of 3 days of oversleeping, his pattern's broken because I tell him, okay, you come in late one more time, you're off the rest of the week. Let's hit you where your money hurts. Come back the following week. If he comes in late again in the following week, I got to let you go. Goodbye. There is no second chance after that. That's the way I'm treated at my job. I'm told I got to be there by a certain time. If I can't be there by a certain time, they will find somebody that will quickly step in my place and do that job at the exact time they want him there. So that's what I do. Like Nancy here says, good quality tools. Employees are tools. That's what they are. That's what I am. That's what, everybody out there is. When you realize that employees are a tool for the process of doing what you do, you treat them with respect, you give them the room to learn, you give them the room to, move up. If moving up is pay, that's one way of promoting them, or promoting them in, instead of you just doing this part, I'm going to let you do this part now. That's your choice. And I'll give you a little bit of a pay increase for that, because now you're doing twice or two different jobs. Okay, cool. But I'm telling you, man, some of you builders, some of you painters, some of you seat guys, and I say seat guys because I'm a seat guy, some of you powder coaters, it doesn't matter who you are in this industry. Buddy, just remember this. I'm never going to be against you unless you're just a dick to me, like certain people have been in the past. But what I am here for is I am here to help you. If you want, all you got to do is call me. I will help you get through whatever you need. What did Rush Bike say? Indeed charges $17 per click, whether they apply or not. ZipRecruiter's $27 per day. Is this the hiring standards now? So I don't know what all that means, Rush Bikes. I don't know who I'm talking to at Rush Bikes. I don't know what all that shit means. I'm sure that there's services out there, but I've never hired an employee off of a service like that. With today's internet being the way it is, you don't have to really advertise anywhere to do anything because you have a big format that's easy. Yep, people will owe $300,000 on cars and bikes, depreciating assets, and only have $200K house appreciation assets and wonder why they can't get ahead. So that's fucking awesome you said that. That right there is people working for toys. They're not working for a living or a lifestyle. I work for a lifestyle. My lifestyle will start at 65 years of age when I retire, and my lifestyle will be I'm finally going to enjoy damn near 50 years of hard work, because I started working when I was 15. I've heard all kinds of quotes out there from scared money will never make money, and that can apply to gambling, starting businesses, doing anything you want. Scared money will not make money. First of all, I've talked people into moving into another profession just to get rid of them. See, you know what I'm talking about, Nancy. But my point is that when I say scared money, when you get to a point where you can't sleep at night because you're worried, how are you going to get a customer's bike finished? You're done right there. That's where you're done. Now, in the very beginning, before a customer brings you a bike, and I'm using a bike because it's a biker show, but if a customer brings you a bike and they say, hey, I want this, I want this, I want this, and I want that. You say, okay, I will put you a quote together. But the first thing I ask them before I put a quote together, what is your budget? What are you looking to spend on this? Because I might be able to save you some money off your budget. There you go. You find out what they want. You take the time. You source your parts. You source your paint. You source your stereos. You do these things. And you find out, if this guy does give me the money tomorrow, he likes my quote, am I actually going to be able to obtain the parts he's wanting? How long is it going to take to obtain the parts he's wanting? And Is my painter going to be able to paint this bike when it's done with? How long is my painter going to take to paint the bike? Because all those things factor into what you can deliver. Unless you're the guy that does every single step in-house, you're dependent on other people. Now you're going to be dependent on a painter, dependent on a seat guy, dependent on chrome platers, powder coaters, parts distributors. You're going to be dependent on all these different people. All it takes is one of those people to have a bad day or something go wrong with them, and now your whole process is late because you've waited for somebody that you thought was dependable. So when I put a quote together, I get everybody on board. I find out what everybody's time frames are, and I ask them, okay, I'm giving a quote. I need to know this. This customer hasn't approved it yet, but hypothetically, if my customer approves it within the next 30 days, when can we get this stuff? The reason I do that is because it gives me a window of time, 30 days, that I can tell the customer this quote is only good for 30 days. So if you come to me in 31 days, I have to write you a new quote because I'm having to resource the paint job. I'm having to outsource the seat. And these guys may have taken on more business while it took you time to decide whether or not you wanted to do it. So therefore, your time frames are going to change. Now, that's why I'm still rolling my 99 F30E50. Don't need that $800 payment, and she's still a beast. Yes, sir. I agree with you, Brian Barber. That's right. But my whole point is that when you do these things, a lot of people get scared, so they don't fully tell the customer the full truth. The full truth is there's an expiration date on a quote. The reason there's an expiration date on a quote is because you're having to outsource other stuff to other people. When there's other people involved, they have other customers also. You come in last in line, you may have got bumped back 6 more weeks. Well, that means your customer's getting bumped back 6 more weeks. So what's up, Miss Leslie Beaver? It's good to see you watching. But my point is that there's so many pieces to a business that sometimes business people are smart and they hire people to do those roles. I'm going to use you as the office manager. What is the role of an office manager? You take all the phone calls, you order all the parts, you basically run all of the parts around. You go to the paint, pick up the paint shop, you go to the seat guy, pick up the seat guy. You do these things so that the builder can stay on the build, the X, Y, and Z. Okay, what did he say? Brian Barber's saying, truck has 115K, wife's car has 85K, and you see my shoes, but I retired at 46 from my 95. Hey, oh yeah. Rush Bikes. Brian Barber been rolling my 03 Avalanche for 18 years. Third engine, third transmission, second upholstery, first paint job. I'm rolling in the 2019 Dodge Ram, and I love my truck, but it's the first truck in my 52 years on earth that I ever bought brand new, so I think I deserved it. But anyway, but you guys understand what I'm saying. And my whole point behind this is because I if I could write down on a piece of paper right here, just like I wrote these numbers down, if I could write on a piece of paper, I'm in a lot of fear right now. I'm very concerned that there might be some shops that might be unfortunately going out of business for a handful of reasons, and I wish I could do whatever I could to save them, but they're going to have to listen. They're going to have to rethink how they're doing business. The reason I say this, and the reason I don't say anybody's names, because there's always the underdog that you think is out, and that fucker ain't out. He ain't out. He's just down. And those guys, those are the ones you should really be afraid of, because those guys are me. That's who I am. When you think I'm down, I'm sorry. I'm going to work a couple more hours. I'll sleep a little less, and I will get that shit done. I'll figure it out. Hence why I'm buying a plasma table. I want another job to come in that I can make money at, so that I can shift some stuff around and hopefully make more money before I retire. I have definitely, I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. Brian Barber, but got 8 bikes and 2 classics. Can you ride 8 bikes at one time? No, I'm just kidding with you. What happened to rods and rides? Okay, so I'm going to address that real fast because I don't hate TD Ward. I'm no longer mad at TD Ward. I wish TD Ward nothing but the best. But I will say this. I saw 2 posts saying that they were no longer in business. Back at the biker build off, me and TD Ward had a conversation before all the bullshit started. And he said that his new business venture was doing really, really well. And it was getting to the point he was going to have to decide, does he want to go forward with this venture or does he want to stay building the bikes? Now, mind you, TD Ward owns 2 or 3 different companies. The man is not afraid to work. He busts his ass. He earns his money. I have nothing bad to say about him. I don't know if he chose to push the other business because it was making substantial amount of money all the way around. I don't know if he ended up going with that business model and pushing that business. So he decided to let the motorcycles fall to the wayside because it was not ultimately going to produce as much money. I don't know. That's what he told me, that he was having to he was struggling with whether or not he was going to continue on building bikes. That was back then. But then I also saw another post that said he was having to shut the shop down because of health issues. So if that's the issue and he's sick or something, I hope and pray it's not terminal. Hopefully it's something he can get over and he'll be good about. But that's me. As you guys know, I can't stay mad at people too very fucking long. And that's it. As far as Lucky 7 Chicago, I have no idea what happened to those guys. But hey, before this night gets on, Dan Juban, can you come on the show real quick, my friend? Can you do that for me? Just leave a comment and say yes or no. I need you to answer me pretty quick. Hello. Can you do that? All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to do this right here. What he said, he left a comment. Yeah, okay. All right. There we go. Let's see. Okay. I just sent Dan a request to come on the show real quick. Tim Nagy, I think my biggest fear is when prices are increasing as they are, when does it just become that time to move on? Another thing, you don't know. That's for every individual, because I know a lot of people went out of business in 2007, 2008, 2009, and I'm one of the fortunate people that didn't go out of business. I mean, my business stayed going. I did on the other hand, I did have to take a second job, and that second job has been very, very, a very huge blessing to my life. Uh, Almost missed tonight. Yeah, see, John, yeah, fucking around, not paying attention. It's Thursday night. You got to watch the show. Where is my buddy Dan? I want to discuss something with him tonight. I want you all to see the stuff. So I want y'all to see something. My good friend Dan Juban, everybody knows him as Smooth, has actually come out with a pretty kick-ass little product, and I want to show you guys, but I want him on here to show you guys. ThunderRoadsIN.com. That's what I needed, Marsha. I need to be putting that up there. Come on, Dan, get up in here. Let's go. Let's go. I don't want to run out. I'm going to run out of time. So there's 4 videos. I know y'all wonder what I'm talking about. 4 videos are the videos that my advertisers. God dang it. Come on, Dan, get up in here. So anyway, I'm going to show you these, and then I'm going to bring him on to discuss these things. So these right here, my good friend Dan Juban makes these. And if I'm not, some of us has to work for a living. Oh, bite my ass, Mr. Pouncy. You know damn good and well I work at Shell. Okay, I'm holding on. But anyway, Dan and the guys at Shy South, I, I'm going to say they invented this, but they manufacture these, they make these, and this is for your trickle chargers. So you put your trickle charger in here. Oh, he's here. Let him. I want him to explain it. Let whom y'all get ready to say where? There he is. So I'm discussing these things right here.
Oh, I'm
Um,
here.
I haven't put one on my bike yet because I don't have my bike. My bike is at Squealing Pigs Audio getting stereo work done. But I'm telling everybody about these. I haven't put one on my bike yet. Oh my God! So tell us more about these. Is he ignoring me?
Hold on, man. Hold on. I can't hear him.
You can't. I'm not talking.
Oh, there you are.
I've been talking to you. Just sat there and looked at me like I was crazy.
I couldn't hear shit.
I couldn't hear a fucking thing. But anyway, I was talking about your trickle charger holders.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't put mine on my bike yet because I don't have my bike.
Oh, well, that
But
sucks.
I wanted you to come on here and tell everybody about these because these are badass. I
Oh,
actually
thanks, man.
I'm glad I got two of them because one of them is going on my Twisted King and the other one's going on my dad's Dyna.
Nice.
So, and these are necessary. Oh my God, these are so necessary.
So, I don't know. I'm glad you like them, man. They're pretty badass. They're fun to make for sure. We did the initial prototype on a 3D printer, and then we took them over to our friend um, Josh over at another company. He has the water jet and plasma tables and all that good stuff, and he printed them out for us. So it's pretty cool.
Well, I think they're badass, and I know they work because every time I go to trick, because whenever I stop my bike, I always plug this in. But that cord is just loosely hanging there, and you're digging for it. You know what I mean? I'd
Oh yeah,
rather just plug into it, and this right here is the bomb that fixes the problem.
cleans it up, makes it look nice. Two-piece design, so all you really have to do if there's not already a hole in your frame, like right underneath your seat in between the motor and like where the battery goes, if there's not already a hole there, you can drill one there. You can drill into your frame and tap it, um, and put that on there. But it's pretty simple design. We were just tired of everybody who came up to the shop was bitching, fuck this thing. I burned my hands. It melts on my pipes. It melts on the other side. So we decided, I don't know, maybe it's something we should look at. Um, actually, Matt actually designed that, my business partner. So I was just like,
Can I say something about Matt real quick?
yeah.
Matt does not seem like he owns part of Shy South. I know you've been telling me that for the last year or two. That this is my partner. He's half the owner or whatever y'all's do. I don't ever see him being an owner.
What? Why?
I don't know. It's kind of like me saying, hey, Cade owns part of American Drag Seats.
Oh no, he's part owner. He comes up with a lot of cool shit, a lot of good ideas and that.
I know, but I never see him.
No,
He doesn't. Does he not get on Facebook?
no, he's on Facebook, but he doesn't ever answer or interact with anybody on Facebook. I push him and push him and push him and push him. Dude, I'm like a media whore. I'm all over Facebook. I don't give a shit. I say what I say and fuck them if they don't like it. But Matt's like a little more reserved than me.
But the funny thing about Matt is he's freaking hilarious in person.
Oh, he's a trip, man.
I love him to death. I think he's freaking great, which is weird to me because it's like Matt. I can't associate Shy South with Matt because I never see Matt.
He shies away from the camera when I go live. He usually runs the other direction. You probably saw it during the build off. He didn't like being on camera in the build off. He's not that guy. He just doesn't like it. He's more reserved and just he gets a kick out of it. He'll provoke me to go on, and he'll get me fired up to go on. It's pretty funny.
But he literally he's hilarious in person.
Oh,
He's one of those dudes, man. I could sit there and I could drink with that motherfucker all night long.
oh
Have a
hell yeah,
good
he's a good dude.
time. Yeah,
He's a good dude.
he is a great dude. But anyway, so once I actually get this on my bike, I'm just
Yeah,
going to take pictures of it because I can't get the laptop downstairs.
yeah.
But I'm going to do another product review of it and show people how this freaking works. Because I'm telling you right now, they're awesome.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. That's Uncle Bruno did one today. He sent it
Did
to
you
me
really?
and asked me. He actually he sent it over to me and asked me for approval. I was kind of laughing. I'm like, dude, you can post what you want. I approve everything. I think it's awesome. That people are buying them, that people are watching us. It's I got to put these back on, man. I can't see a damn thing. Don't get old. Um, that whole that whole thing is pretty cool, and we've got a couple Harley Davidson dealerships interested in these things now. So that's
Well,
we kind of feel like we're doing something right.
yeah. So Rush Bikes wants to know where you can get them at.
ShySouthCustoms.com. Underneath the merch tab, you'll see them on there. The black ones are on there, and the polished ones are on there. $25 plus tax, and then we also have shipping and handling on there. If the guys from Rush want to do something, we also have a dealer um, setup going as well. They should just contact me direct at Shy South Customs. Find me on Facebook. I know we're friends on Facebook with Rush as well. Um, so just have them reach out to me direct, and I will hook them up.
Sweet. So he said, excellent. So Uncle Bruno just put your website up.
Hell
Rush
yeah!
will put your website up.
Hell
So now
yeah!
they know where they know where you can get them. Brian Barber said, nice. I can't wait to actually put the product because I know he's using it right now also. But anyway, so well, cool. Well, I told you I was going to do this to you tonight, but I didn't tell you I was going to bring you on.
Yeah, you did
But
not tell me you were going to bring me on.
well, tough shit. Sorry. If I'm good enough to talk to on the telly, I'm good enough to talk to on the show.
Oh, we're talking. We got
I
more
know.
business to talk about anyway, so
Yes, I couldn't call you back yesterday.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow and tell you why I couldn't call you back yesterday.
Oh, okay.
You know what it's about though.
I do. I know. I get it.
It's funny. It's hilarious. But anyway, well, cool. Well, you got anything else to tell everybody?
Not really, man. Go buy my cool swag. That's all, and keep on pimping
That's what I
Shy
was
South
about to
Customs.
say. Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, go buy his shit. It's cool stuff, man. Well,
We have
cool, brother.
colors now.
Red. Red's all I care
Hey,
about.
it's pink to me. So
He said it's
everybody
pink.
knows, I've been painting for 30 years. I'm a colorblind painter. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, all you top dogs.
So didn't you say y'all painted it in the dark or something with a light?
I turn the lights off so I can see the way stuff lays down. I use a sun gun. It's a little handheld. Um, it's got three different light settings on it. I have to see the way that it lays down in order to match color. When you're doing a blend or something like that, if you're doing complete, it's a no-brainer. But yeah, when I'm doing blends and stuff, I have to turn the lights out, and I use the three-position light to shine at different angles so I can see what's going on.
A colorblind painter. That
Yeah,
could be a Lifetime movie.
made for Lifetime. That's awesome. I don't think Lifetime would have me on. I'm a little raw.
So, oh, and just so everybody knows, because I know that you've asked about them for, the DVDs have been bought, paid for, and we're just waiting for them to get done and get to me. Once they get done and get to me, anybody that wants a DVD or a poster or a t-shirt, we have everything you need. We will be putting packages together, a poster, a DVD, and a t-shirt while supplies last for $50.
Nice. Tell them, hurry up,
So,
mofos. We want our DVDs.
well, Earl, get off your ass, Earl.
Yeah, come on, Earl. Hustle, some bitch. Hustle, hustle.
I don't even think he's watching tonight.
Damn it.
But no, but so we're going to be doing that. We'll be getting the DVDs not too awful much longer. So I'm going to put it together for $50. You get you get the DVD, a poster, which is a full-size poster, and a t-shirt for $50.
Nice.
Yeah, I think so. But I've got a lot of posters. Oh shit. I need to pay Aaron Crispin. I haven't even paid for the posters yet. Shit.
Well, that would be good.
Well, yeah, because he's a sponsor and I haven't paid him yet. Earl said they were ordered, not on me.
Oh, it's on you, buddy.
That's funny. Well, we're going to blame you anyway, Earl.
Yeah, don't make me come to Texas.
That's right.
Don't
Well, cool,
me
brother.
a good time.
No shit, right?
Right.
Well, go have a kick-ass night, man, and we will talk to you next week, brother.
All right, brother.
I'll call you
Thanks for
tomorrow,
doing that, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
I'm going to do it again once I actually put it on the bike.
Right on. All right, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, brother. Have a good night, man.
All right, later.
Later. So there you go, guys. So these, he said, Kevin, I got my poster and shirts. Cool. I thank you for your patience, brother. You have a DVD coming too. I just gotta wait to get the DVDs. So again, these are your Trickle charger ports. They bolt right to the bike. They're kick-ass. I can't wait to put them on my bikes. You sent me an XL because we don't have there weren't any larges, so I wasn't going to let you just have a regular t-shirt. I sent you a builder's extra large because I did notice that when I washed mine, it shrunk a little bit. No, you're not. You're an extra large, Logan. Don't be that way. But anyway, so I've had a good time tonight. I'm glad you guys listened. Share the videos. Go to YouTube, the Grind Biker Build Off on YouTube. Push subscribe, hit the bell to get the notifications, and share that shit too. I got my posters and shirt too, Kevin Sock. Well, awesome. Glad you guys got your stuff. Are all builders fat or what? I'm not even going to reply to that comment because I don't want anybody else hating me any more than anybody already else does. But anyway, you guys go have a kick-ass night. We will see you guys next Thursday night. Y'all be cool.